All right, guys, so I got all of the white parts taken out of here, and I put them in the back of my truck like I originally planned on a little moving blanket. And then I got my rear axle right here, and I can just roll that around just fine. You know, there's plenty of clearance, probably a good 3 inches from the ground, so that's nice. And then, you know, all this stuff's on rollers except, you know, the bumper. But got the drums off too, so I can get these prepped up and painted blue. And I brought that tote to work and got all but one part done, which is the transfer case skid plate, which is really rusty. So I'm just gonna use a whiz wheel on it, which I should have grabbed more whiz pads. I forgot, or prep pads, whatever. Oh well, I'll make do with what I have. And then so I just got that skid plate, the cross brace for the core support, and then the drums right here. Everything else is prepped. I got everything in the tote done, the brakes and stuff. Intake's done, drive shafts are all done, and yeah, it's just about ready to be painted. And it's already probably like 11:30, so it's already really late. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to really prep anything else. Mainly it's just gonna be, you know, prepping this stuff, you know, wiping it off, hanging it up, and painting it, which is fine. You know, that way I don't have to mess with trying to hang it off of there, and then, you know, that would be super time consuming. And then trying to take it all off, where tomorrow I can just come out here and, you know, that way I can use the hoist, and that would be easier. So there's that. And I still don't know how I'm gonna hang the rear drive shaft, just because of how long it is. So that's gonna be interesting. I might have to try and get this higher than the hoist can go. I don't know. I still gotta figure that out, but I think I'm just gonna get those parts ready and painted tonight because it's already super late, and I'm gonna be staying up super late. And you know, I want to make sure I get it all done, and then, you know, I actually get to bed at somewhat of a decent time, and then come out here tomorrow, and then just go full sanding mode on the bumpers, the hood, and the tailgate, and then even the mirrors. You know, if I have time, of course, do the mirrors, do the wiper arms, maybe even the door handles, and getting all that stuff ready to go. Because guys, I have 2 weeks from tonight to have this thing fully together. And once I paint all that stuff, then I'll have everything to basically start putting this back together. Oh, you know what? I actually got to paint my tie rod ends so then I can get the power steering rack on with the tie rods. And then I can really start getting it put back together and probably build the drivetrain. I'm just kind of waiting for this to cure. So maybe, just maybe, no, that's still going to be pretty time consuming trying to make this thing a roller, but I could definitely get a good start. But, you know, then again, I'd want to paint my hood, my bumpers, tailgate, basically all the body panels I have and all the parts I have, you know, besides the cab. I mean, if I could do that tomorrow, that would be insane, guys. And then on Sunday, just basically work on the cab and stuff. But honestly, tomorrow, if I'm doing all that, I really want to get underneath the cab all prepped and painted. I really want to get to that point, and then I'd be, you know, pretty comfortable with where I am at. But, you know, I'm going to have the cab up on the hoist, and the rockers definitely have to sit on here, which, you know, kind of sucks. So you know, there's no way for me to like try and fully paint the cab because, you know, there's nothing to really hold it off of. So I'm gonna have to have the rockers on here, and you know, I obviously have to cover up the arms or something, and just paint underneath it all, and probably just doing the bottom. I don't think I'm gonna do the firewall. I still got quite a bit of stuff to take off of it, like this stuff, which is probably just stuck on there. Some hoses, and gotta do something about the wiring, and a heat shield right there. But you know, not much stuff. I gotta take the brake booster off, and then this shaft I'm probably just gonna cover up, and I want to paint this white, so that would be pretty cool. So if I can get that painted white, and then just my tie rod ends painted white, that would be really good. And that way, next week I can start building the chassis. Oh, I also got to build my motor too. So, I mean, 2 weeks should be close at least. But, you know, I'm not too worried about the drivetrain because most of that's like built still and can just easily be put back in. So, I'm not too worried. So, I think I can get it done. I'm not too worried, but, you know, me saying that is a little concerning too, that I'm not too worried. And that's the third time I've said it now. But I did actually get a bolt kit too for my gas tank straps, so I can get the gas tank back in there. And I have a fuel pump, and I just got to prep it all, paint the heat shield and stuff, which also leads me to, I still got to clean up the whole exhaust for it, paint the headers, and paint all the heat shields. And I did want to paint the fuel lines and the AC hoses or lines, whatever. So still got all that to do. And then it would also be nice to paint the brake lines black. So I got a lot of work to do tomorrow. I'm hoping to get most of that done. And then I can start getting this chassis built early next week. So basically in 3 days. But I have a lot of work to do before then. And I wish it was easier to move parts around, because if I could just focus on getting everything prepped and not have to, like, you know, just do the bumpers, hood, you know, maybe tailgate, you know, and then wait like, you know, 24 hours or something so I can handle it. And that was my phone, and that was loud. And then, you know, work on the cab. And the cab, looking at it, it's going to take a lot of time to prep. There is a lot of surface to cover. The whole engine bay underneath, the whole thing. You know, jams, doors, all that. And I got just this one little spot to fix right here. But my dad said that he can help me with that. Getting it kind of pulled out and get this high spot tapped back in. You can kind of see the high spot right there. So there's just that. And obviously I'm gonna have to take all the seals off the doors and stuff, but I'm probably just gonna pop the doors off of it for when I paint. I think that would be the easiest. And yeah, so, well, without further ado, I'm gonna stop rambling on, and I'm gonna get to prepping the last of this stuff, and then, you know, cleaning it all off and getting it all prepped and hung up. And then you guys will see that now. All right, guys, so I actually came up to a new plan. I actually didn't get that stuff painted last night, but you know, that's not too big of a deal, I guess. But I came up with a new plan of attack. I'm gonna paint this stuff later, like maybe in a day or two. But for today, I'm gonna be painting, actually my inner tie rod ends, or outer tie rod ends are in there. But I'm gonna be painting my outer tie rod ends, which is my whole power steering rack, and getting my tie rods all ready to go. And then probably painting my like brake lines and stuff too, just in a fresh coat of black. They're all coated, so I'm just gonna shoot over them so that they all look nice again. And then I'll be rolling my frame back in. And guys, I'm gonna start building up my frame and making it a rolling chassis. And then once that thing's a roller, then I mean, I would like to work on my motor and get my motor fully finished. And then that way I can get my whole powertrain on. And then from there, I can start like, you know, when I do paint the underneath of the cab and the firewall, all that's gonna be on the inside and underneath and, you know, the engine bay. Then I'll paint all those parts, hopefully, if I can hang them all. But then I'll just have to paint the inside of my fenders. So I'm just focusing on underneath of the body and then the whole engine bay. And then once all that's done, then I might just leave the outside for now, honestly. And because we're moving here really soon, so I might just have to paint the body later and paint the lift kit later and stuff. So it might just have to go together the way it is, you know, put the old box back on it and then come back to it at a later date, which is no big deal because, you know, still looks pretty good the way it was before. But although these parts are a little bit scratched up now, but at least I don't have to really care too much about the body and the paint job because I know it's gonna get changed anyways. But I just wish that the bumpers were a little bit smoother, but if I have time, I'll change them. But it really does seem like I'm running out of time. And if I have to work on other things and get everything else cleaned up, and, you know, I got a blown up four-wheeler outside that I gotta rebuild and sell soon here too. But guys, it's on crunch time right now. So I'm gonna get to work and let's see how much I can't get done today. All right guys, so I got my new power steering rack right here. And I totally wasn't expecting it to be painted. And then they got a bunch of overspray on the boots and stuff. And as you guys know, I'm, you know, making everything super nice on this truck and like new. And yeah, I'm not happy with this. This isn't gonna cut it. So I might just send it back and just pay the extra $50 for an actual new one that doesn't look like crap and has been repainted. And this bracket ain't even on there the right way. You gotta try and get it past the line. And yeah, this is poor. So I guess I'm just gonna set this aside and just use my old stuff. I mean, at least it's all hooked up, so it'll still be aligned as long as I get the steering hooked up the right way. And then it'll just be my camber that'll be off, so not too bad there. So I guess just gonna be bringing the frame in now.